You recording it already?
Yeah. This is gonna be the part we doing the thing. And
Keep
then,
pushing John back.
yeah. Just so.
You gonna laugh like that, though?
Huh? Well,
No, like the dude from Martin.
Tommy.
Yeah. This is Myke and Latwayne back again. Another beautiful Sunday morning. You already know who it is. 3 down C. Dig me? So anyway, we're reading a beautiful book here. It's a little backwards. I know y'all looking at it backwards, but whatever. The Law of Success by Neopolean Hill. Great book, man. It's helping us a lot. And the chapter, lesson 5 that we read in is imagination.
You can do it if you believe you can. Introduction to this course. Well, you saw that?
Yeah. Subjects of this course. Not only is the subject of imagination an important factor in this course, but it is one of the most interesting subjects as you observe when you begin to see how it affects all that you do toward the achievement of your definite chief aim.
Deep.
Facts.
Deep.
You will see how important is the subject of imagination when you stop to realize that it is the only thing in the world over which you have absolute control. Others may deprive you of your material wealth and cheat you in 1,000 ways, but no man can deprive you of the control and use of your personal imagination.
Go right there, brother. Pow. Heard. There it is. You know what I mean?
3 L
See.
and the building.
All right.
Man, huh? We both don't got no children.
Ah, right. Word. Yeah, that's a big deal right there. Yeah. Ah, damn. All right.
That money.
Yeah.
Then we get the honey.
Yeah, getting the honey. Yeah, man. So. What we got, man? 3MC in the building.
3MC in the building. Lesson 5 on the Law of Success by Neopolean Hill. It's called
Imagination.
So we read it. We read about a little after a quarter of the chapter. Chapter's pretty long, so we cut it short. We got more things to do. Busy men, you know what I mean? So we're going to touch over the chapter, what we read and what we got from it. And now I'm going to ask Brother Myke, what did you learn?
All right. It gets deep. It gets deep. The first chapter is about definitive purpose, right? But nothing drives that definitive purpose without imagination, right? Nothing drives that without having the imagination to continue that purpose on, right? So let's say, I want to help 1 million succeed, to help myself succeed in return, and I want to make 1,000 millionaires, right? So in order for me to do that, that's a high achievement. That's such a high achievement. So in order for me to do that, first I had to write my goals down, write how, I don't have to write how I'm going to do it yet, but write it down, what I want to do and what I want to have done. And then I have to continually think about these things happening. And then the how starts to come. But I notice when I write things down, I already start to think how I can do it. But if I'm not writing things down, I don't think about how I can do it. You know what I mean? It's kind of just out there in the blur. But then when I start writing it down, it starts getting more concise into a more concise energy ball kind of. When you write down your definitive purpose and you have your goals and you keeping up with this every day and you got it on your mind, first of all, it's important to not only think, but act as if you are in the position where you want to be in the end, right? So you start to dress that way. You start to walk that way, talk that way, things like that. And this is all your imagination starts to broaden. You know what I mean? Because you're like, wow, you start to, people perceive you different. So then that imagination starts to get even bigger, because you're seeing things that you never really experienced. You imagine it, you picture it in your mind, you start to live it, and that creates new habits, and with those new habits create more imagination and bigger imagination. And with the bigger imagination comes how to do things, because you start to think about new ways to do these things that you imagine about and that you want to achieve. All right, so that's what I learned today, man.
That's what's up.
Yeah, thank you.
So I'm gonna piggyback off of Mr. Myke about us learning about the imagination today. What I learned from the imagination was basically like we use our imagination for anything, for everything. That's just how us as human beings, how we move through this earth. We imagine it and then we do it. But the beautiful thing about us, and that we not sharks or birds and stuff, because they like on a set course of their imagination. They can only imagine only but so many things. We can imagine anything we want. And it's just like how we even walked into this van right here. We walked in to my brother Mike's, you know what I mean, brand new Tesla right here that we in. We was in the Solid Works and we was reading a book, and then Mike was like, you know what? He said, his imagination, he said, let's go inside the van and let's do a short video before we, you know what I mean, before we move on with our day. That was in his imagination. And before we know it, look, we here, we in his vehicle, doing the video. This was all premeditated in his mind and his imagination. He could have used his imagination on the other hand, and he could have been like, you know what, I think we did good today, brother Twain, you know what I mean, I'll see you next Sunday, you know what I mean, have a good week. And his imagination would have happened. He would have gotten his van, I would have gotten my vehicle, we would have moved forward for a day. But he used it in a productive, positive way. And so therefore we making this video. So I'm saying that all to say is, from what I learned, is that we use our imagination all day long. So we have to learn to use it for what we really desire in life. Mm-hmm. And we have to get very focused on that. Like, I know we all like to be wealthy and rich and healthy and happy and perfect marriage and all that, but do we see that before we live it? You know what I mean? Before I go home to my lady, do I imagine me going there and we arguing, or do I imagine me going in there and everything's beautiful, we hugging, kissing, and watching TV or whatever we want to do, but in a nice, peaceful way? It's a choice that we all have. So I just want to leave y'all with that. It's from, let's use our imagination for what we what we desire. I know we all don't desire the same thing, you know what I mean? But let's just calm down and relax and just use your imagination before you move. I guess it kind of goes back, you know, when your parents used to say, think before you speak. You know what I mean? It's kind of the same thing, like imagine before you act. You know what I mean? Imagine it thoroughly and then act it out. That's what I got. I mean, that's what we do. We build, brother.
You know what I'm saying?
3M sizzles on nizzles.
Yeah, man. So, all right, that's all for today, y'all. I hope y'all got something from the video. This video was on imagination, and Twain just dropped that knowledge. You know what I'm saying? We out of here. Thank you. Thanks for watching.